a great day when you get to speak with the one and only Greg Gifford. That's right. We're broadcasting live from NADA 2026 here in Las Vegas, and we are at the dealer eProcess booth 3901W. So if you're close by, please stop on over right now. I'm going to talk to my dear old friend, Double G, Greg Gifford. Of course, he's the COO at SearchLab Digital, and you are all things SEO. Talk to us about it, because I said just within the hour, I said live on air, you could have the most incredible website, but if you don't have great SEO, who's going to see it? Am I wrong?
That's true. That's very true. Okay. I thought your intro was going to be different. You totally missed the opportunity. You can be like, some days are so great because you get to talk to the most amazing people. But today we've got Greg.
Now, Greg and I have been friends, oh my gosh, a long time.
I mean, more than a decade for sure.
More than a decade. And we always keep in touch. And I'm just your biggest fan. You know I am.
And I'm yours.
I love it. I love it. So I will never not love Greg Gifford. But even though we've been friends for so long and we've done a lot of NADAs together.
So many.
I heard a rumor that you did something last night that you have never done before.
So this is the important news. It has nothing to do with marketing or anything that'll help dealers. She's talking about the fact that the guy that does not do karaoke got up on stage at the karaoke party with Sean Rains and did a song last night.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, man, I can't believe
it was fun.
So what did you sing, and did you crush it?
More Than Words by Extreme, and I took the low harmony.
No way. That's one of my favorite songs.
It was
Please
good.
Tell me somebody videoed it.
I'll show you the video when we're done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. You did the low part?
Yeah.
Did you? There it's us in there.
I mean, I couldn't do the high part with, I mean, you hear how my voice sounds like. Like, I was supposed to do a presentation at our booth at 3 o'clock today, and I'm like, maybe I should stop talking after I do this thing with you, because I'm going to have no voice left.
10 minutes with you and me, baby, okay? So let's talk SEO, baby.
Let's do it.
All right. What do dealers need to know? Why is it so important? Is it still important?
It's more important than ever before.
Why is it more important than ever before you talk to me about how to do it?
So the reason it's important is because we all know AI search is here. Whether people are using ChatGPT, which they're actually not anymore. Some research just came out this week that shows that ChatGPT user base is dropping drastically. Q3 was less, and then Q4 was even less.
ChatGPT or all LLMs?
ChatGPT specifically, because they were first to market and made a big splash, but now Google is the one winning. The active user base for Gemini is like 5x on new users monthly. But this is the AI search game. It's here whether you want it or not. That's going to be the default. AI mode will be the default at some point pretty soon in Google. So not just the overview, but the whole, you're doing a chat talk the whole time, not doing traditional search results. That's coming. We need to be ready for that. Not super soon, but it is coming. But the thing that is really important about all this AI stuff, and this is what my workshop was about, was not get distracted by these shiny objects. Because dealers are excited about AI and all these things. I mean, you can't walk 5 feet past the booth and not hear about some new AI solution, right? Yeah. And it's great, and it's helping people be more efficient. The problem is dealers hear AI and they think it's amazing, and they're using ChatGPT and AI, and they assume all their customers are. But if you look at worldwide data that shows how this stuff works, at best, all LLMs, maybe 6% of your traffic. Maybe. Yeah, you have all these people here trying to sell you geo services. Don't believe it. Geo's not even a thing, right? But you have all these people trying to sell it to you, saying this is what you should be doing to show up in AI, and all the tactics that they say you should do are the things we've been doing for SEO for the last 10 years.
So it's just solid SEO.
I mean, there's an additional kind of layer of things you need to do a little differently, but it's still basically just SEO. I had a conversation at the booth this morning with a dealer that was like, can you help us write content specifically to show up in AI? And I'm like, no, we already do that. And he's like, well, no, you have to do it for AI. And I'm like, why would you?
Custom content is what it's looking for.
But why would you write content just for the AI? You need to write content for your humans that answers the questions that they're going to be asking. And that's why the AI is going to find you. You don't put up an oil change page and then put up another oil change page just for AI. That's asinine. And so don't
start cursing on my show.
Asinine is not a curse word. It's one S, ASIN. Okay, anyways. So here's the thing, really quickly. It's not actually AI. People think it's AI because we all call it AI, and that's just a marketing thing, because when they're coming to market with this, people have seen Star Trek and Star Wars, and they know what talking to a computer to do stuff is. Well, that's this, but These are not intelligent. They don't reason. They can't think. They don't know the difference between fact and fiction. They're just very advanced word prediction programs.
Okay. I'm going to stop you right there because you said this when we webinared together. He had the last webinar with me of the year at Dealer eProcess. You can find it at dealereprocess.com/webinars. And you said that they're a word prediction platform.
Right.
And I thought that was fascinating. And so tell people exactly what you're talking about, because we did a little.
So let's say you ask, we'll just say ChatGPT. It doesn't matter. It could be Gemini. It could be whatever. Let's say you have ChatGPT say, I would like you to write a 500-word story about my cat.
Okay.
It doesn't actually make up that story about the cat. You guys think it does. It doesn't. It's not making up the story. It's looking at every piece of content. You know, these models are trained on millions and millions and millions of pieces of content. So it's a pattern detection thing. It goes and it looks at everything about in its training data about cats and what the most common things are. So it's going to be like, well, the cat woke up and walked across the couch and put his front paws down and scratched and then went and curled up and fell asleep. It doesn't really make that up. It's reading all the stuff, and the vast majority of things say
that's
the
what
cat,
cats do.
and the next most likely word after cat is, and the next most likely word is stretching, and the next most likely word is on, the next most likely word is the couch. It's literally probability of how these things are. It is not making this stuff up. Now, if it's not in the training data, then it has to go out and do something called a grounded search. So a grounded search is when the LLM that you're using doesn't have the information, and it goes out and it does a Google search and it looks at those sites, and then it synthesizes your answer out of the content that it finds there, which is why I've now come back 25 minutes later to answer your question about why SEO is more important. Because if you're not doing SEO, you're not showing the right kind of SEO, not the garbage stuff that a lot of people are going to buy from some of the vendors here. Do the right kind of SEO so that you show up in the search results, so that when the LLM goes to search something on Google, you're showing up on Google. If you're not on page 1 of Google, you're not going to show up in the AI. And it's not like you need to do extra stuff.
You're not going to show up in the AI?
You're not. But here's the other thing. People selling these services like Geo are saying you have to do all this extra stuff that's not SEO. And most of the time, it's 95% what they should have been doing for SEO anyway. But regardless of that, you are optimizing to show up in the LLM, thinking that the LLM works like Google. Google is what's called deterministic, which means Google goes out and it crawls all the sites. And if you rank number 1, you rank number 1 everywhere. Everybody sees the same answer because Google has an algorithm that scores sites and figures that out. People assume that's how the LLMs work, and they're not like that. They are what's called probabilistic, which means variability is baked into the platform. On purpose, it is made to give you different answers every time. And you guys can test this if you haven't heard this before. Whether it's Gemini or Perplexity or whatever you use, ChatGPT, ask it the same question 5 times in a row. You're going to get 5 different answers without prompting it to give you a different answer.
I'm going to give you a different one too. Have 5 people use the same platform and put in the exact same prompt, and all 5 of them will get
exactly. And that's because they also personalize answers for each individual user based on your use history and what it knows about you. So some research just came out this last week from Rand Fishkin at SparkToro, and he basically crowdsourced it. So he was like, let's get a whole bunch of people, and we're going to give them like 25 prompts, and we want them to all ask this question and screen capture what they see.
Okay.
So you can then compare what all these people are seeing. And they said with Gemini, so that's AI overviews or AI mode, which is what most people care about now more than ChatGPT. Okay. You have to ask, on average, the same question 124 times before you get the same 2 businesses to show up in the same search result. So all these people selling you geo services, how are they tracking that you're getting ROI on that? It's impossible to, because the phrase that you're tracking isn't even going to be the real phrase that humans are using. Then we have the variability, then we have the personalization like that. And then that's when you start to see this research that shows that if you're having to ask the same question 124 times on average, just to see the same 2 businesses in that list, well, then one of those businesses has got a tracking tool that says you're showing up all the time. No, you're not. You're only showing up a portion of the time. And here's the other crazy thing. People are vastly inflating Google Analytics, because when an AI agent that goes out and does these things and interacts on your website, that looks like a human although it's actually a bot, but nobody has their Google Analytics set up correctly to detect that. So if you haven't set up Google Analytics correctly, it looks like human traffic. So let's say I have a dealer.
What?
Let's say I have a dealer.
Okay.
And even though I would not do this because I know it doesn't work this way, but the people out there that don't understand it are going to have some tool that shows you how you show up in search results on LLMs, right? You're tracking your visibility in ChatGPT or Google.
You can't do that.
You can't, but they're doing it anyway.
Okay.
So let's say you have...
Say it again so that people in the back can hear you.
It literally does not work. You can have a tool, it's directional at best at like a 20-mile level, but it is not, this is what you actually show up for everybody because everybody sees something different. There's no attribution. But the way that I just got distracted on what we were talking about and the story that I was going was...
That people can't track what they're doing.
Oh, right. So if, let's say I have 50 phrases that I'm tracking visibility for in AI.
Okay.
Which means every day that tool, and you can configure it to do it more than once a day, but let's say you're doing it once a day, you're just running a check of those 50 queries to see how your dealership shows up.
Right.
That looks like 50 visits to your website.
Really?
So that means at the end of the month, you've added 150 visits to the website just from your tracking tool. So it looks like your traffic's going up. It's really not. It's your stupid tracking tool.
Oh,
some people configure this to check 2 or 3 times a day, so then it balloons. Here's the other crazy thing. Besides the fact that...
Why would it do that? Wouldn't it know?
But besides the fact that it goes out and does a Google search to figure out the information, it also has a thing called query fan out, which a lot of people haven't heard of. And that means you ask it a question. Let's say I ask, where's the best Ford dealer in Dallas to buy an F-150 from? That's not actually the query that it goes and asks Google. It does multiple related subqueries. That's called query fan out because one turns into multiple. It branches out.
Okay.
It'll do a search like, who are the Ford dealerships in Dallas?
Right.
Who are the highest reviewed Ford dealerships in Dallas? Who are the Ford dealerships that have F-150s available that are in Dallas? What are the reviews of this dealership that has on, it starts synthesizing and it's like, okay, this dealership has the best reviews and it's in Dallas. Do they also have F-150s? Okay, I'm going to put an answer together for this person from that. So it's going to do all 5 or 6 of those searches. So instead of that 50 searches being 50 things to your website, each one's multiplied by 5 to 10. It might be 500 visits a day that you're causing with your AI tracking tool that isn't even accurate anyway.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
That is so frustrating.
And there are a lot of people out there that are like, it's just SEO, don't do that. No, it is, for most people, it is additional activity that you need to do because they're just not doing good SEO in the first place.
Yeah, every time I see you, you talk about these incredible studies that you do.
We just released another one this last fall that's the biggest one we've ever done.
Yes, you did a webinar on it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And that's what, and I was in the vendor pitch competition yesterday.
Oh, really?
And it was, I didn't win, but like, who knows how they pick the winners. But it was funny because somebody before me got up and pitched their geo service. And I get up and I go, this might be a little bit awkward, but I'm going to tell you not to buy that. And I was also like, this could be awkward because you only have 2 minutes to talk to the judges.
Right.
And I'm like, and what could also be awkward is everyone else up here is pitching you a product or service that they want you to buy or they want dealers to buy. So they're pitching the benefit to the dealership. But really what they're doing is they're trying to sell something so they make more money. Let's be honest, right? That's what it is. And I said, I'm not pitching a product or service. I'm pitching our study. I'm pitching free help. I want to give this to as many dealers as possible because I know that there are dealers here looking for these types of solutions and they don't understand the importance of SEO. They don't understand, they know they need it, but it's a box that they tick. They don't know the importance of the quality of the service they're getting. So this gives them benchmarks to understand this is the sort of stuff that I should be getting from my vendor partner to either help hold them accountable, which I give them a guide of, hey, let's pay attention to this, or for them to realize, hey, this vendor partner is not helping me. I need to go find somebody else.
Where can they get that study? Because the study was amazing. You did a webinar with me. It's on dealereprocess.com/webinars. You can see
if this works.
If it works.
I have a QR code that will pop up here.
I don't know if it'll work.
Does that show there? Oh, it's hard to do backwards. There, that QR. Scan that QR. You can download the study.
Look at that.
There we go.
Is it also available on...
It's also available on our website.
SearchLab?
I don't know what the URL is off the top of my head.
I'm sure if
you know what? If you're watching this and you want a copy, just shoot me an email at greg@searchlabdigital.com and I'll send you the PDF.
It's nice of you.
But so the whole pitch The point of the pitch competition was like, I need to show people what matters for SEO. And this is data-based, not like every vendor's going to say, oh, our system is better or we do this differently. Like this is data is showing you what works, right? But I also wanted to get it out there because I know people are talking to these geo people and how you need to show up and what you need to do. And this will also help understand what affects that.
Yeah.
And I didn't win, but like really, we just want to get this in the hands of as many people as possible.
Well, you're a winner to me, baby.
Oh, thank you.
And then he sang a song to top off a great day. We're gonna go sing and dance a little bit over here. Greg Gifford, I love talking to you.
I always love talking to you.
When
it was so much fun.
Another webinar with me and putting you on the spot.
When do you want me to? Whenever you want.
Q2, watch for it. I'm asking the same question of all of my presenters, all my thought leaders. So I know probably what you're going to say, but the question is, you, Greg Gifford, what do you think dealers should do so that they see more success in 2026?
You think I'm going to say SEO and I'm not.
I what?
I was having some fun conversations yesterday. Dealers come to events like this thinking, my marketing's not working. I need to find a new website. My website sucks, or my SEO sucks, or my PPC sucks, or my direct mail provider sucks, or my DMS sucks, or whatever. There's some tool that they think if they change this tool, the dealership's magically going to be better. And sometimes that's true. If you're doing SEO with, I would probably get in trouble for saying a vendor name, so I won't say it.
Okay.
But if you were doing SEO with somebody, a company that might sound like Schmealer Schmott Schmom, that's not a real company. I'm making that up. But if you're doing SEO with someone like that and you switch to pretty much anybody else, you're going to see some improvement, right? So it's not, some vendors are better than others. But honestly, most of the time, the issue isn't your vendor is broken, you need a new vendor, or your partner sucks, you need a new partner. Dealers look at your internal processes because you probably are getting leads from your paid search, from your social ads, from your email ad campaigns, all of these things. And your team's not calling them back for 24, 48 hours, sometimes a week later. And at the point that a customer contacts a dealership, they're ready to talk and buy. So if you do not call them back immediately, you'll lose that lead because they're probably narrowing that decision down to one or two dealers. And they're like, hey, I'd like to come test drive this F-150. And they'll send it to like two different dealers that have the car and the price range and the color and whatever. And then if they message both dealers saying, I'd like to come do a test drive, and your dealership answers them back in 10 minutes, like, yep, when would you like to come in? You can come today with whatever you want. And my dealership doesn't call them back for a week. At that point, they already bought from you.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens all the time. Or you've got broken processes with your BDC and you're not booking deals the way that you should because you have inefficient processes. So honestly, I think the biggest thing, especially because we have the explosion of AI and all of these new things that are being introduced into the dealership world that are new processes, don't just start buying things and think it's going to solve your problems. You need a cohesive back-end efficient process for everything to work, or you can have the best vendor or the best tool in the world and it's not going to help you.
Not the answer I was expecting. Was it the answer you were expecting? Let him hear it. Greg Gifford from SearchLab.
But one additional thing that every dealer should do is call me and buy SEO or PPC. But
that's what I thought he was going to say. We're going to go sing and dance with each other in just a few more minutes. We are coming back at you live from NADA 26 Expo Hall here in Las Vegas with none other than Larry Clay. He is an NADA instructor. We're going to find out what he has to say about success in 2026. So check back in with us in just a few more minutes. For right now, we're going to wish Greg Gifford and the fantastic team over at SearchLab congratulations. Success to you on this NADA. And we'll see you in a few more minutes. Thank you.